Hey third grade, good to see you again. This is Art with Miss B. I'm happy to see you guys. If you'll notice, I added a little something to my background. My negative and positive space flower that we made together. I really liked how it turned out, so I wanted to put it as part of my background. Well, I hope you guys had fun last weekend to do that project, and I know it was a little bit hard, but I hope that they turned out great. And if you still would like to show one to me, take a picture, put it on Seesaw, or have your parents ask them nicely to email it to me, okay? But today we're gonna get to start a whole new art project. Okay, and this again is gonna be in two parts. We're gonna have a part on Monday, and then we're gonna have a part on Wednesday to watch, okay? That is because it takes a little bit of time to do step one, and and step two, I guess. And so I wanna give you enough time to be able to do that. So that's why we're breaking up into two videos, okay? So we are gonna be learning about an artist, okay, just like we usually do. This artist's name is Paul Cézanne. Okay, Paul Cézanne. He was a French artist, and he was known mostly for painting landscapes and still lifes. So we are going to be actually getting to do our own still life full of apples. Now, I have a little bit of a video clip here that explains a little bit about who Paul Cézanne was. So let's check that out. So as you saw, Paul Cézanne liked to do still lifes, and a still life is an object that does not move when it's in an artwork. Okay, so still lifes usually get set up in front of you. Okay, now we are not going to be doing setting up our own still lifes, but after this video, if you really liked doing the still life, then you can set up your own and you can keep drawing them. Okay, now a lot of artists did still lifes because it's a good way to learn how to become a better artist. If you want to learn a new skill, try putting something in front of you, keeping it still, and try drawing it. Okay, so today we're going to be getting to draw our own still life that is a bowl full of apples. Now, we're not going to take a whole bowl full of apples because not everybody has that and put it in front of us and draw. We are going to make a bowl of apples using circle shapes that we can find around the house and drawing our own bowl and table to put them in and on. So your first step is you have to go around your house and you have to find 3 different sizes of circles. Okay, so for example, I found a lid of a jar. Okay, you can see my lid here. This goes on top of my jam jar. Okay, so that's a circle. Yeah. I found the lid to a candle. Okay, this is just a candle lid. We use it when we're putting out our candle and covering our candle up. Okay, again, circle, but they're 2 different size circles. Do you see that? Okay. And then my final one is a lid to a shaker bottle. Okay, so a shaker bottle, you put stuff in there and you shake it and it mixes it all together. But this shaker bottle has a circle for a lid, even though the top of it has stuff that comes up, like it has a spout. But I'm more looking for this. Now, it's hard to show you here, but all 3 of these circles, they're very close in size, but they are all just a little bit different, okay? That is gonna be important for getting to create different size apples in our bowl. Okay, so after you found your 3 items, you're gonna want a piece of paper. Go to the printer, grab a piece of paper there, or go grab a piece of construction paper from your craft closet, grab a piece of notebook paper, whatever kind of paper you have. Okay, grab a piece of paper and a black crayon. Okay, black crayon. If you can't find a black crayon, pick a dark colored crayon, okay, a dark colored crayon, or You can even take a marker and do it with a marker if you don't have crayons, but Miss B really would like you to have a crayon if that's what you have. Okay, so don't just say, okay, I'm gonna go just use a marker because it's right here next to me. Go find a black crayon if you know you have them. Okay, black crayon, your paper, and your 3 different size circles from around your house. Now let's get started on the first step of making our Paul Cézanne Still Life apple bowls. Okay, so I have my 3 different size circles, I have my crayon, and I have my paper, and we're ready to go. Our first step is that we need to make a bowl. Okay, so the way we're gonna make a bowl is by drawing a half circle. Okay, so first start by drawing in the middle of your paper a horizontal line. On one corner, you're going to make that half moon or that half circle and connect it up to that corner. Now I'm going to hold my, I can see that my shapes are a little too, my circles are a little too big for my bowl here. So Miss B is just going to simply turn her paper over and make a little bit bigger bowl. Okay, so same thing. You're going to do horizontal line and then a curve to make a half moon. Okay, next up we need to make a stand for this bowl, because otherwise if our bowl didn't have a stand, it would just walk, what's this motion? It would tilt and turn. So we're gonna put a rectangle coming down off the bottom of our bowl like this. Okay, the next step is we're gonna start to trace our apples. Okay, now you're gonna take whichever apple size that you wanna start with. I'm gonna start with my largest one. And I'm going to place that up over my line here. Okay, because imagine there was a black line that was being drawn right through my candle here. I am going to draw and trace around that to create my first circle of an apple. Now I'm going to move on to my next one. Now you can move it higher above the line or lower below that line to show as much of the apple as you would like. So I'm going to do about there. Same thing. Trace around your object. Okay, grab your next shape, lay that down, and we're going to find some apples behind each other. Okay, we're gonna draw some so they appear to be lots of apples into our picture. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna put this one down, and then I'm going to start where this line ends and stop where I see the next line. Now watch what happens. When I take that away, it looks like there's a whole nother apple behind there. So now you can continue creating a couple more apples in this space. So I'm gonna make one more kind of come up right here. Start at that line and end when you hit the next. And then one more apple shape. Let's see, I think I'm gonna put that one. See how I'm kind of thinking about where I'd like it to go? I think I'm gonna put that one like right here. And end, okay? And I want to put an apple also on the table here. Okay, so I'm gonna put my small circle and I'm going to trace one more apple around and stop. So now all my circles are done for my apples. Now we need to draw a line to be the table. So I'm gonna start just above this apple at the edge of my paper. I'm gonna draw a line that goes all the way to the bowl, lift up my crayon, but I'm pretending to draw so that I can keep as straight of a line as possible. When I get to the other side, finish drawing it. So now my apple bowl has a table to sit on. And then I think my bowl needs to have some decoration. So I'm going to start just below my table line, and I'm gonna create like a stripe on my bowl. And inside of the stripe, you can decorate it with a type of line. Okay, so for example, I think I'm going to do zigzag, like that. All right. Now we're gonna add just a little bit of detail so that we can tell if these round shapes are apples. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a U shape or a smiley face, and then give it a little stem coming out. Okay, so we're going to do another one right here, U-shaped stem. Maybe this one we'll make into a circle because it's like facing us. Up here we'll do U-shape with a stem coming out past our apple. We'll do another one over here, U-shape, stem, and then this one, let's give it a leaf. Okay, a leaf. And then one more here on this apple, U-shape, stem. And then I gotta give one to this guy down here, so maybe I'll have this one go like this. Okay, so all of our apples should have stems with the U shape, or this one we made into a circle. And that is how we do our first step. So that is finishing step one. Okay, we have our outline done with our black crayon, and we made the circle shapes to look like apples are inside of our bowl. We got one on the table. Next time, we're gonna be adding color to it. Okay, now we are gonna be adding color with watercolor paint. Now, if you don't have watercolor paint, like actually Miss B, I don't think has watercolor paint here at her home. I forgot to grab some. But if you don't have watercolor paint, you can just use Crayola markers and water. Okay, so next time, make sure that you have your watercolor paint or your Crayola markers and water ready, and then we're gonna add color to our Saison Apple Still Life bowls. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.